making mistakes to avoid in marriage. This video are for people who love their marriage, who want to preserve their marriage, and who wants the best interests of their marriage. The first one is never be stingy with money. Yes, money has literally ruined a lot of marriages, money issues, and it looks as though some couples are yet to understand this fact about money. Now, many marriages have equally survived the issue of money because they were able to get good counseling. But I'm sharing with you in this video the basic on how to avoid the money issues. And that way is to understand the importance of commitment. Commitment and the vow you took before marriage is not just on other things, it's on everything. So you must understand that marriage is for a lifetime and it is something that you have to be intentional about investing everything you have in it. Successful marriage is a marriage that both parties are open to share what they have and understand themselves. Be sure to support your spouse financially. Get to understand what their need is so that you can equally meet those needs. So who is meant to have the money and who is meant to do the spending? This is exactly the question some people ask, and of course this becomes a problem when this is not on a balance. Now, in marriage, there is no special person that is meant to have the money while the other person keeps taking and keeps spending. One thing about marriage, just like I said, is for a lifetime, which you already know, is the fact that you can have today and your spouse may have tomorrow. So that is why it's very important that you stay faithful with money, because there are seasons that you may find yourself financially buoyant while your spouse is not. And the other season, it might be your spouse that is there to carry you. And that is the purpose of marriage. Marriage is for sharing, marriage is for balance, marriage is to be strong when I'm weak and be weak when I'm strong, stuff like that. So it's very important that you don't get hold of money to the extent that your spouse need is not met or your family need is not met. This has ruined a lot of marriages and it brings about a lack of value, like your spouse will begin to believe that you don't value them. Sometimes all you need when it comes to financial commitment is just a detail of how your finances is running, or just transparency, which some people don't have. Most times your spouse suspects and believes that you have money but you don't really have the money, but they keep believing that you have it, you don't bring it out or you don't want to give to them. It is very vital that you go transparent. If you're running a business, go transparent. If you have some savings accounts, you can just go transparent. Going transparent doesn't mean that you have given them all access to your money. Depending on how you want to run your relationship or how you have agreed to run your relationship, but money issues must be worked on for a proper understanding. Your spouse should be comfortable with the fact that yes, you are with him or with her when it comes to money issues, because if you don't do that, you could be ruining or destroying a marriage more than you think you are building. And I can assure you that season comes and goes, and today your spouse might be the one standing to carry you, and next it is you carrying your spouse. And there is no point and no room for revenge or trying to pay your spouse back. If you happen to be the person who now had the experience of your spouse being unfaithful with money in your own time or your own season, you can take that as an advantage to teach him or her the best approach to money management in marriage. If you love your marriage and you don't want to have issues, it is very important that you take it easy in money approach, and don't be quick to call out your spouse just because they are not getting enough money just like you desired. Some persons do that. You just want to go crazy because you feel your spouse has the money and don't want to bring it out. There is no room for that. There is still room for you to understand that they work hard to earn the money. Of course, in marriage, it should be on a balance. You help out financially while your spouse does the same. But of course, in some situation whereby it looks as though much more is coming from your end or their end, you have to still understand that it's just a matter of time. You have to work hard, and work hard to meet up, and let your spouse find you working hard, and don't argue or try to fight your spouse believing that they have what they ought to give you. Remember, they are there to be a blessing to you the same way you are there to be a blessing to them. So high level of transparency, faithfulness, and considering the consequences of unfaithfulness when it comes to money in marriage should be considered. And if you do so, I can assure you that you will build your marriage on a solid rock. Of course, marriage is meant to succeed, prevail, and become better and stronger. And that is the same way your life will become more stronger and better if it does so. So the next one, which I cannot do without talking about here, your time. Your time is what you owe your spouse. Sometimes people are carried away in marriages. Couples are carried away in marriages when they want to catch up with job, catch up with this, catch up with business partner, catch up with this and that. That's very important. I understand properly well that that is how you make ends. That is how you are trying to, you actually get things together for the home. But you must understand that your time is very important to your spouse, and sometimes you need to just shut it all down just to meet up with this need. It is a need. I believe that a need is what people can't do without. Of course, if you don't feed your spouse with time, you could be losing them someday. Find time where there is value, and I believe that you value your spouse very well. So you can't be married to be found missing or found wanting. The actual purpose of marriage is so that you share your time with your spouse, share everything you have, share your money, share virtually everything, and not your time should be missing. Your time is one of the things you vowed on the altar to give or to be available for, because the person needs you. And in the process of giving your time to your spouse, you bond more, you become more better, you are united in your thoughts, in your perspective, because marriage is about oneness. And when you are not one, you could be missing out in so many things. When you share your time is when you understand yourself more and when you begin to bond even more. But when you don't have time for your spouse, I'm sorry, because that marriage is likely not going to be perfect, or you might not benefit so much from it. And some people get to the point of losing their marriages because they don't know who their spouse is anymore, because people keep changing, people keep having real life experiences every day, and sometimes they might want to share some challenges with you, and they want to know if you care and if you have time for them. And time means value, just like I said. So try as much as possible to have time for your spouse. If you have a tight schedule, of course, your schedule is your schedule. You are the creator of your schedule. So try and adjust your schedule. Bring out time for your spouse. They deserve it. It is their right to have time. It is their right to enjoy time with you. So go ahead and insist on a schedule. You can do this. You love your spouse. I know you do, and you want your marriage to become better, stronger, and you want your spouse to believe in you even more. Give them your time. Don't talk about it. Just go ahead and give them your time, and it won't be long. They will understand and realize how important they are to you, and it pays off when they do so. And finally, is intimacy. Sex is not to be denied when it comes to marriage. It's a need. Everything I've listed in this video are needs. Of course, like I said, needs are meant to be met. Like, you cannot do without giving people what they need. You might decide not to give people what they want, but when it comes to a need, you have to just go ahead and plan and work hard to give them a need, because our scale of preferences always comes first with our needs before our wants. You don't have to be selfish about it. You don't have to keep it all for yourself and want to go about it only when you want it. Like, the intimacy is a vow. The intimacy is what you owe your spouse. So when you are stingy with sex, you are stingy with intimacy, you are stingy with romance, you are stingy with these things, it affects your spouse, and they are hungry for these things. Naturally, it is in their body, in their nature to be hungry for these things. And you could be bringing in some perspectives that is wrong, that maybe you don't love them, and of course you wouldn't want to ruin your marriage because of lack of intimacy. So intimacy shouldn't be a medium of punishment, or intentionally want to deny him or deny her this so that she's gonna feel your impact or feel how serious you are about something. Like, you want to punish the person, punish your spouse. That is not called for. It is so childish when you do that. When it comes to intimacy, it should be offered with respect, with value, with understanding, because marriage is a serious business and you can't afford to be living it anyhow. A lot of marriages has gone down, and I know you want yours to succeed. You should try as much as possible to keep up with intimacy and a few other things that I've listed in this video. So these are the 3 mistakes you must try and fight to avoid. My name is Esther Christian. Please subscribe if you like this video, drop a comment, share the video, and if it blessed you, bless someone with it. Bye. sharing it to the person. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? This is the right time to do so. I encourage you to see all my videos. Just go down to my channel and see every single topic there. You will benefit from them.